Hi guys, welcome to my very first video about prepping. Some of you out there know me and some are going to be strangers watching me on YouTube, things like that. So welcome to the channel. It's a brand new channel, never done this before, never really been on camera, it's kind of weird. But I thought that if I had anything to offer to the community that might help others out, then I'm going to go for it. So here I am. The channel is going to be about prepping. What prepping is being prepared. It was our main motto in the Boy Scouts, so it's not that weird. You know, some people think it's kind of kooky to even think about this kind of stuff, but it's not. It's pretty normal to me. I like the feeling it gives me that I won't have to live in a FEMA camp in some football stadium somewhere, and you know, with 5,000, 10,000 other people because I didn't prepare properly. There are organizations like FEMA that's what they're there for. Their scope is very limited. And you know, downright mismanaged sometimes. If you want to look at Katrina and use that as an example, but I don't want myself or anybody I care about to end up in a camp like that. It just seemed miserable, and I watched the whole thing from Fort Living Room in Oklahoma, from the comfort of my couch. But you know, it's very real, and it could hit where you live anytime, one way or another. A good example that, you know, burned into my brain recently, 2007, was in Oklahoma, and we had a major ice storm, and it shut everything down. Sub-zero temperatures. We were without power for 9 days, and I was very ill prepared, and it was not comfortable. It was not good by any means, so I don't want that to ever happen again. And the reason I'm making a video as opposed to somebody else, there are a lot of other videos out there, and there are a lot of good resources. I learn what I know from other people for the most part. But I thought I might be a good example because I am a beginning prepper. Okay, I just got started. I'm doing it on a very limited budget, and I thought I might be a good example for other people out there. If you get on the internet, you might get a little overwhelmed. I know I was at first, and first I had to sift through all the nut jobs, I guess, the conspiracy theorists, the paranoid gun hoarding types, and then I finally found some decent information. There's Southern Prepper 1, there's Maine Prepper, Maine is in the state prepper, engineer, I think it's 877. So anyway, there's lots of good resources out there, and I'm sure I'll be creating links onto my page to theirs and that type of thing. But like I said, prepping to me is not that weird. My mom was some sort of prepper. She kept a little stockpile of food and water, and you know, we always had flashlights and batteries, and you know, the things we went through, hunkering down in the basement for tornadoes. It's usually over within 24 hours, and only once it got really bad. It was late 70s, and it flattened the whole area of our neighborhood. We were unscathed, but there were a lot of people that didn't have it so good. So I've seen it with my own eyes, and it's what kind of motivates me. I was very ill prepared for the ice storm in Oklahoma, and I don't ever want to be that dummy again. So the other thing is if the more prepared that I am, I can offer assistance to other people. So I don't want to be one of the ones that's dependent on others in times of emergency. I'd rather just be able to depend on myself. And in that regard, I can actually be in a position to help others out. A lot of our grandparents were into this type of thing. Even our national security system, I don't know if it's security, but civil defense type thing, they'd have lots and lots of food stockpiled for people all over the United States. And you know, we don't do that anymore. We'd rather spend our money on other things. So they do not have a stockpile for us anymore. It's up to us to provide for ourselves, and we're kind of on our own to a great extent, because if a catastrophe happens and it's too widespread, then FEMA will be doing well just to contain things, not even really be much of a help, just very concentrated areas. So that's one reason I like to be prepared. It just helps me sleep better at night. I'm taking care of more than just me. I'm responsible for myself, my fiance, and we've got 2 dogs, which I know they're not kids, but you know, if you're a dog lover, you know what I mean. I'm still responsible for them, I take that seriously. So on subjects of things like gun grabs, okay, you saw that in Katrina for the first time ever in this country that I know of. They went around and confiscated firearms, and you know, I'm a big believer in the Second Amendment. If y'all know me, you'll probably know that. But you know, I think it was an isolated incident. I think there was a lot of bad judgment, people that were put in positions of power and to make decisions, and they did a really bad job of that. But I don't see that being a huge problem. If they do, in some type of situation, come to my house and tell me I need to give up my firearms, there you go. You know, if you're facing down a platoon of military infantry, and they're armed up and geared up, and they got the numbers and the training, and if they're at your house, it's probably not random. Yeah, I'll give it up in a heartbeat, because, you know, I can't be replaced. An old World War II $100 bolt-action rifle can sure enough be replaced, but I can't. And it's my responsibility to help take care of my fiance and my other friends and family who would probably be relying on me to a certain degree if something actually happened. So anyway, moving on. I'm looking down and checking notes. Like I said, it's the first time I've ever done this. Another thing is there's two basic groups of preppers out there, and these are the people that are going to be a threat themselves if something ever really does happen, because one group is all guns and no groceries, and the other group is the opposite, all groceries and no guns. And I'm absolutely stealing these terms. I learned them somewhere else. I did not make them up, but they got a good ring to it, and so I'm going to use it because I think it's the best. So if you got people that are all guns and no groceries, you know the type. You can see them on the internet. They're all over the place. They're armed to the teeth. They got 60, 70 firearms each, and you know, they got camo head to toe, and they've got 10,000 rounds stockpiled, and when things happen, if they run out of food, they're just going to go and take somebody else's. So they're going to end up on the predator side of things, which is, that's not in my heart, so I'm not going to end up in that category. The other category is someone who has all the supplies, but they can't defend themselves. That's not a place you want to be, because that's exactly who they're going to prey on. So you're either going to be a predator or a victim if you are not careful to be a well-balanced prepper. Okay, there's a lot of different bases to cover, and I'm starting from the ground up, slowly starting to cover bases. You know, drinking water, some canned food, first aid supplies, survival supplies, things like that. I'm not going over top because, like I said, I have an extremely limited budget. There are things to be had at the dollar store, Big Lots, places like that, of course Walmart, but I like to stay away from there if I can. But you know, I do not have a big budget at all. I spend about maybe $20 every paycheck. Buy extra things like toilet paper, soap, hand sanitizer. You know, these are all little things, but if you need them, then it's invaluable to have that. It's priceless, as the credit card commercial would say. You know, right now you can get a gallon of water at the grocery store for what, 80 cents, 90 cents? And if you really needed it in a bad situation, that would be priceless. It would save your life. Every adult needs about a gallon of water per day, and that's really rounded off, and that's pretty conservative. So my goal is, between myself, my fiance, and our 2 dogs, is to have 3 gallons for us every single day. I've got about, you know, maybe 2 weeks of that. I did it by recycling or reusing our Powerade bottles, because she's been finding a good deal on those. And we drink the Powerade, and then I wash them out and use a filter on the tap and refill those with water. So you can, there's a lot of bases you can cover for virtually free. I like to recycle things just by reusing them, because it's easy. Save all of our Walmart bags, those little plastic grocery bags. I don't throw them in the trash. I keep them. I stuff big bags full of little bags, and she makes fun of me, but you know, it could come in really handy for things like waste management if things really get bad. So the other things you guys might want to think about is building up your skill set. It's not about just supplies. It's not just about, you know, having a thermonuclear fallout shelter in your backyard. It's about having skills that will come in handy. I was in the Boy Scouts, like I stated. our motto was be prepared, and they burned that into our brains. At least mine got burned into my brain, and I like it. It makes me feel good. Makes me gives me peace of mind. So I like being able to take care of myself if at all possible. Resources are going to be very, very limited if there is an emergency situation. So little things people can start learning, and camping skills are always good in case you have to cut and run or retreat or bug out or whatever you want to call it. My plan is to bug in because there's really not much place to go. I live in a metropolitan area, so going to do the best where I am, but I'm also you got to have a plan B. If you don't have a plan B and a plan C, then you are not a prepper. So camping skills are always good. You can apply that to urban setting if you need to. Security is going to be of the utmost. Personal defense, self-defense. Start taking martial arts classes. If anybody's interested in martial arts, I'm not an expert. I'm not a genius. I just have some training experience. I've bounced around a lot of different schools when I was a kid. Finally found something I liked, and I stuck with it for a while, and went on from there. So if anybody's interested in that, I'd be happy to answer questions about different styles or things along that nature. There'll be terms that come up that I want to explain. I'm going to try to organize my videos so I don't get onto ranting and tangents. The EDC bag is an everyday carry. It's a term you're going to hear if you're learning about prepping. I do have an EDC organized and packed. I have an inventory sheet that I keep on file on my computer. Whenever I update that sheet, I will print out a new one and put it into my pack. EDC, everyday carry, is basically, it's a smaller, I don't know if I call it a survival kit, but yeah, you can, that sums it up pretty well. A lot of first aid stuff in there, a little bit of survival gear, some fire making material, stuff like that. I'm not licensed to carry a firearm, so I do not carry a firearm. It's just the way it is. The one thing I do keep in my EDC, I have a military police baton that I used when I was a bail enforcement agent, and I keep it in there just for those situations. Right now, the most use I get out of that is propping up the hood of my Jeep when I have to do things like top off fluids or change a battery out. I'm really lucky I had that because my springs are busted in my hood. So police baton makes a really good hood prop if anybody needs to know that type of thing. I like recycling for preps because it's pretty much free. One thing that I like to kind of collect or hoard, whatever, is dryer lint. Okay, it makes a really, really good fire starter. Okay, cotton balls and all that type of thing, that's great, but dryer lint's free, and in fact, it goes into the trash. So I keep one of those Walmart bags, and that's where we put all the dryer lint, and I don't let her throw it away, and she makes fun of me, but it's okay, because not only prepping for myself, if I have anything extra beyond what I really, really need and somebody else needs it, I will give it freely if that's the way I feel about it, or you can use it to trade. So skills are going to be one thing, but not only could I give somebody a bunch of dryer lint, I could show them how to use it. And if the electricity's down and they don't have a way to make more dryer lint, they've been throwing theirs away for the last their whole lives, and that could come in real handy. So anyway, I want to kind of wrap this up, but I've got, I don't know, at least 10 or 12 titles for separate videos that I want to try to make. I'm going to keep everything under 15 minutes because that's what fits and on YouTube for the equipment that I have right now. Please give me some feedback. No, this is going to be completely non-partisan, non-political, non-religious, and absolutely no racism on the channel. Okay, if that type of stuff happens, I'm running the channel, so I'll just delete it and block it. Other than that, I'm really kind of anxious to get some feedback, especially from the people that I know and trust. And this is going to be a whole series of videos. If this works out, then it'll be an ongoing thing, and I like talking about it with my friends, those who are interested. I find it very interesting, and it's more of a lifestyle, so it's something that's going to continue. So anyway, thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later. Bye.